Hello, dear students. Today we are going to learn about a poem which was written by Jeet Thayil. When I tell you about Jeet Thayil, I would like to say that he was also born as a Keralite. He was born at Mamalesheri and later he went to Mumbai and he spent his adolescent and his teenage days there. And he was the son of a very renowned writer whose name was K.J.S. George. So, this poem, Life Sentence, is something like an autobiography in which he tells about a certain time or a certain period of his life. But when we read this poem, we will not be able to understand that particular phase at the first instance. So, here, when you go to Jeet Thayil was born on 13th October 1959. He is an Indian poet, novelist, librettist and musician. He used to play musical instruments. He is best known as a poet and is the author of 4 collections. He has 4 collections to his credit. And which are the 4 collections? These errors are correct, which was published in 2008, English published in 2004, Apocalypso published in 1997, and Gemini, which was published in 1992. He also went on to write a novel which was called Narcopolis in the year 2012. And for this particular novel, he won the DSC Prize for the South Asian Literature, and he was also shortlisted for the 2012 Man Booker Prize. Also, you can see about Narcopolis. When he was asked why he took this initiative to write this particular book, Narcopolis, which deals with the drug mafia and the drug generation that was situated in Mumbai especially, he replied that in many of the novels and many of the writings you can see that India is depicted in a soft core value which was full of mangoes and monsoons and lovely things. Others should also know about the Narcopolis or the drug and the dark cornering of incidents that take place in Mumbai. And he says that this particular work has also autobiographical content in it. So, the work Narcopolis, which was published in 2012, it had another series which was published later and another series which was published in 2020. Now, his debut novel, Narcopolis, which was published in 2012, it was based on his life experiences in Bombay and New York. Also, he deals with the drug trade in the maximum city in Mumbai during the 1970s and 80s, and the novel brought alive the impact that these drugs had on the life of the poor, the deranged, the marginalized sections of the public. This particular work, that is Life Sentence, comes from his series of collections which is also called as the collected poems. In this collected poems, it represents more than 3 decades, that is 30 years of his work, which starts from the early 1980s. It includes, for the first time, the privately uncirculated poems that he himself had written. Now, Thayil reveals his style to be more revealing, grand and self-dramatic. He was also a person who was always hinged to the kind of writing and the style that the Indian writer or the Indian poet A.K. Ramanujan had exhibited. His language, phrases, and cadences and sparkles, but still you can see that the themes of almost all his writings are loss, pain, dissatisfaction, and several other harmful obsessions or harmful habits. Now, there are several recurrent themes in his poems. You can see that certain poets, they always deal with recurrent themes. And he also has recurrent themes in his poems, which may be characterized as the themes that specially deals with the loss, the pain, the anguish, and the harmful substances and obsessions that is taken place in a particular person. And therefore, the writings are full of disappointment, self-mockery, and the desire to lose oneself. That means the suicidal tendency. And also, there is also the losing of oneself into drugs and addiction. He later reports that the drug addiction which he himself had in his adolescent and teenage age had always made him a patient of a liver damage, and this has probably shortened his life. Take for instance, his father is 94 years old and still he is very active as a social activist, and he feels that the particular damage that has been occurred to his body due to the drug abuse has made him live shorter for his life. Now, based on this collection of poems, you can say the book, it offers an impression of somebody who is aging rapidly and expecting to die. The poems that is inside this particular book is arranged in such a way that a person is being aging rapidly and he is expected to die. There are also events along with the autobiographical life of himself in this particular work. For example, he lost his wife Shakti Bhatt, and some of the memorable confessional poems in this particular collection deals with how he lost his wife Shakti Bhatt. Then he was also having some kind of a guilt because when she was going to die, he wasn't available. He wasn't home that night. And he has always felt that this lady, this wife, had always given him a purpose to live in his life, and without her, his life will be purposeless and his existence will be boring. Therefore, he tried to seek solace in drug again. And he says that drug is, of course, there is a statutory warning. You can't use drugs. But unfortunately, he wants to attain the nirvana, or he wants to attain the ultimate happiness, and therefore he started taking drugs. This volume of poems, it seemed to combine the trauma of Shakti's death, the kind of mental shock that he had upon losing his wife, and his nostalgia for the narcotics and its attractions. Now coming to the poem Life Sentence, it was a poem that is taken from his collection New and Collected Poems, which was from his a group of or a bunch of poems that was left unpublished, which he wrote from the year 2003 to 2015. So we are beginning the poem. Let's say you are not opposed to the ghost. In principle, you understand her neediness. Just take it plainly. We are going to study a poem. Just take it for the first instance, how you people are going to read. Okay. Let's say you are not opposed to the ghost. A ghost is standing there. Okay. And you are not opposed to the ghost. Let's say you are not opposed to the ghost. You are with the ghost. In principle, you understand her neediness. You are with the ghost because you understand her importance or her relevance or her needs. And let's say she is distracted or busy. And let's say she is distracted and busy, and therefore she is not caring for who is standing with her. She is busy looking for a way back in. A ghost. The soul is going, and she is distracted and she wants to get into the body again. She is distracted and she is trying to find ways of going inside the human body again. But the shore appears distant. So the soul, it wants to come to the shore, and the shore appears distant. Now when I say about shore, you can see in many of the poems that Jeet Thayil has written, he always says about the water principle. He says about water, he says about shore, he says about fountains, he says about the sea, etc. The water element is an indispensable part of his writings. Okay. So for this ghost, the shore is away. And what is the shore? The shore is a human body from which she has come out. Okay. But the shore appears distant, not to mention impossible to attain. It is almost impossible to attain, and that has to be mentioned here. A far off place where her former friends no longer speak her name, which is lost. The soul has gone away from the body, and therefore she has lost the hinge, or she has lost the relationship with the body which her friends used to call by her name. Now the friends no longer can call this person by the name because she is already dead and her soul has gone away. And no word she hears is audible. This ghost perhaps can see that somebody is calling her name, but still she can't hear it because she is a ghost. She is inaudible. She can't hear anything. She can't speak also. Okay. So this person can see that others are yelling or crying on her body, but she can't hear the person's speaking. She is totally deaf. Through the static and the clatter, so let's say you forget to speak her name. So there is a clatter, there is a rush, there is a hin and din, and there is everything there, but still you can see that the people around has forgotten to call her name because she is already a dead person. You do not repeat her lovely name. The lovely name with which she is being called is not repeated again because she is already dead. Shakti Bhatt is dead, and therefore Shakti Bhatt has gone away. The soul has gone away from the body, and he is telling about his wife. Okay. Because your talk is of meat and money. You only talk about meat and money. You only talk about how you can pleasurize yourself with the meat and money. Meat and money may refer to the ways in which people go around the materialist things and not around the spiritual things. And let's say you are not crazy or bitter. So you are a person who is standing with the soul or who is standing with the ghost, and yet people may say that you are crazy or bitter. But you are not crazy or bitter because you are a person who is standing with a ghost. It's just that you don't want to hear her say, why didn't you look after me? So here Shakti Bhatt has gone. She was dead during a night in which Jeet Thayil was not at home, and therefore guilt-ridden he is writing this poem, life sentence, to say that perhaps this person is with the ghost or the soul of his wife just because the person is guilt ridden, and he is with the ghost, or he sees the ghost always because he is not crazy or he is not sad, but because you don't want to hear the ghost say, why didn't you look after me? Okay, so the whole poem is in the form of a guilt ridden mental situation. Okay, now that is all about the poem. I hope you all understood. So I hope that you can do a critical appreciation on this. So can you please write down the poem on the critical aspect or the spiritual way in which you understood this. Okay, so thank you all. Thank you for listening to me.